What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Trade of the Week. Man, I'm excited to actually be back. This is the first Trade of the Week episode I've dropped since 2022. So we're back at it 2023. We've been trading all through January. We've been catching some pretty good moves in this market. Even though this market's been a little bit crazy starting this year out, we've still been catching some nice moves. I'm going to make sure I keep getting these videos recorded for you guys. I've been pretty busy, but I'm staying at it. So before I actually break down these two trades, we had one trade that went, for like a 1 to 2 and then came back against us. Then the next trade actually took off past a 1 to 10, over 140 pips made on this trade and kept on going. So before I break these trades down, I actually got a shout out to my guys in the TGFX chat. I appreciate everybody that sends me profits and sends these screenshots. So my guy Rico, he actually made 6% on his 50K challenge taking this gold trade, as well as trading alongside the other traders in the live trade room, Dustin and Ray, that you know from TGFX as well. My guy Prince Mercy, he actually made over $500 on that gold trade. Shout out to my boy Keyshawn. He sent me this. He made $244 on that gold trade as well. G-Father 1738. He made some nice profit as well on this gold trade. So I appreciate everybody that sends that in. Guys, you can click the link in my description and get 20% off using code 𝐥𝐤𝐤 if you guys want to be a part of the live trade room. Go ahead and tap in. So let's go ahead and break these trades down now. So if we start off on the 3-hour time frame, we can see we pretty much just been ranging, continuing to the upside. If we switch actually up to the daily, we actually were coming into, well, actually let's look at the weekly time frame. So based off of the weekly time frame, we were coming into this level of supply. We had just tapped into it, and price was starting to reject on our lower time frames. So if we go back down to the 3-hour, we had came up, tapped past this point, we ran some buy side liquidity, and we were starting to see a take profit event and seeing a sell off from that point. So that's where I was getting my first bias, guys, of seeing that price may be potentially selling off here. And then if we go down to the 1-hour time frame, we can actually see we broke structure to the downside, came back and retested, not taking out structure, and we continue to go to the downside from this point. So from this level, we did pull back past 50%. So from this new high here, what I was trying to anticipate was to see, from this point of price coming up back to this level, if we can drop down to the 15-minute time frame, I wanted to see, price pull back past a 50% point. So from this level, once price started to pull back here, it started to pull back during London session and tapping back past that 50% coming into New York session. So as price is playing out and it's coming in here, I actually moved down to this low because price did come back past 50% and created a new low. What I'm paying attention to now coming into New York session is, are these levels of supply going to hold for us to potentially take a sell-off? So if we switch back up to the 3-hour time frame, the way this time frame closed, we did get a strong rejection to the bottom side. We're seeing these rejections, so I knew price could potentially go to the upside, but I wanted to pay attention to the lower time frame to see if we were going to start transitioning to continue the sell-off based off the lower time frames. So with this candle that was created coming right into New York session, we did leave a small imbalance in the market. So what I was looking for was for price to come back, retest within this, and then we continue to potentially sell off if we get that rejection. So if we go down to the 5-minute time frame, price is approaching this level. We got order blocks sitting at this level. We ran the liquidity at this level. We started to see the 5-minute transition here. So once we start seeing that price tapping back into this level, we had a strong rejection there, and this is when I started to get my entry. So once we got that, let's go back down to the 1 minute. So once we got that quasi here, this left head, right shoulder, I started to see this continuation playing out. I actually snagged an entry based off of this candle here. So once we got a retest into this right shoulder, price continued to tap into that. I also used the confluence of a trend line here. So with this trend line, price was tapping into it here. We're getting that continuation playing out. So on the 1 minute, I actually enter after price continued to reject the right shoulder. We get a bearish, bullish, bearish, and I entered there on this next bearish candle here. And I actually had a I believe it was a 17 pip stop loss, coming right back into this range, because I know if price was going to come back and continue to take out these highs, that it may potentially want to just keep on buying. So I gave myself a little bit of room. We could have placed the stops even here just to get a tighter stop. So you got to give it a little bit of wiggle room as price is progressing. So from this point, if we switch up to the 5-minute time frame, we see price started to give us a decent drop here. And this decent drop gave us a 1 to 2.5, 1 to 2.6, actually 1 to 2.7 if we, want to be pretty clear. And, price ended up reversing from that point. So what I did was, as price was pushing past, this level, taking out this liquidity, I actually took some partials down here. So I made some money as price was coming down to this level. And then I placed my stops at 1925. So I reduced my risk and took some profit out of the market. So I end up basically breaking even as we see price start to come up and end up taking out that position. We see a lot of traders say, "Oh man, don't trade Wednesdays. Stay away from Wednesdays. Don't trade that in the market." But you don't necessarily have to. You have to be able to trade your pair so that it could play out with the edge, and you can actually increase your P&L. You have to take the setup when it's there. Yes, Wednesdays can be a bit tricky, but once you understand the market and what you need to see, Wednesdays should not be a problem for you. So, we still were able to capitalize and make some, even though we broke even pretty much on that trade. So what I'm watching for at that point is to see if I'm just wrong about the market. Maybe price is going to come back into this level of supply, continue to reject, and I get a re-entry, or if we're getting a potential reversal here. So what we see as price is approaching that trend line, we actually close a nice bullish pattern here. And from that point, price continued to push. So once price got up to this level and correlated with this trend line, we can actually see we had a left head and right shoulder pattern here that was forming. So once price broke out of this with that bullish continuation pattern, I actually took my position here for the buy, got in here, and then I like to use the TGFX indicator to target. So I had targets, set at 1 to 3 that got hit pretty quickly. Then I had the New York's previous high, the Asian's previous high, and then lastly the previous day's high as a target as well. So with this closure here, I actually had another 15 pip stop loss set on this trade. So we got about just a 1 to 9, almost a 1 to 10 on this trade. And as you can see, price played out, never came back to break even, and then end up hitting, so this trade did take a while, but we got some nice profit. We came up quickly to around that 1 to 6, 1 to 7. A lot of people got out just here, didn't let price retrace. So once I go to 1 to 3, my stops are at break even, and I'll let the rest run. And I'm taking profits at 1 to 3, 1 to 5 as it's going to its last targets. And as you can see, all targets got hit, and we had some great trades last week on Wednesday. So don't shy away from Wednesdays, guys. We got more of these setups coming. I hope you guys have watched the gold breakdown that I dropped on Sunday. Let's see what we can get this week. Again, definitely schedule those one-on-one sessions with me if you want to get more in-depth knowledge and understanding. And go ahead and tap in with the live trade rooms as well. Use promo code 𝐥𝐤𝐤 to get 20% off. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video. I hope you have a great trading week.